Sex. How many of us can confidently say you've had a conversation about this topic with your parents or kids without feeling like you need to hide under a rock? Probably not many. My name is Emily Ochieng. I'm a parent and teen sex ed coach. And on this channel, Think Sex Ed, I bring for you the easiest way of having sex conversation. In this video today, I'm going to be sharing 3 tips which can power you to feel more comfortable talking about sex. Sex is something that is difficult to ignore in our lives. It's everywhere in our society, whether it's the magazine you are reading, the TV, with that movie or series you're seeing, advertisements on whether it's that fashion, the dresses that people are all sexualized, music, social media. You think that people will be comfortable with it, but surprisingly, many are shy when it comes to talking about sex. It can be a sensitive and awkward topic, and it raises feeling of embarrassment, shame, sometimes even inadequacy. And so Think Sex Ed brings for you the simplest way of having such conversation. So if you find talking about sex uncomfortable, then how can you get more comfortable? And in this video, we share with you the 3 tips to get you started. So the first type is know the facts. Imagine you're going to Mount Kenya. It's your first time going to Mount Kenya or Kilimanjaro. You not just carry your bag and go to the mountain. No. You need to know the map of the area. You'll hire a guide. You'll take practice so that you can develop the skill to climb the mountain. And the best time to do this is before you start the climb. So one way of increasing your comfort level is to know the facts. Younger children need to learn basic facts. So for example, it's the body parts, whether it's the penis, the vagina, the vulva, the growth during puberty and the changes they experience, physical, emotional, social changes. They also need to know all the aspects around their friendships and relationships. And that's what the Parent Sex Ed course is all about. And this is what this channel is about, giving you facts. But remember that sometimes the expertise, as a parent, you're not starting from zero. No. You have something. Your life experience itself is a masterclass. You have values, community. You know your child better than anybody else. And even the mistakes you've lived, or all those things you call the everything in between, are experience that you're bringing to these conversations with the child. So while it's important to talk with the child, it's also important that you as a parent establish your emotional boundaries. Sometimes you may have sexual history that have situations or decisions that are maybe triggering for you as a parent. And it's important to take care of yourself by choosing to share only what you can. You can seek external support, whether it's from that auntie who can literally open up the doors for you and start having the conversation, or that friend of yours who maybe uses humor to have those conversations. Or sometimes you don't have anybody else and the next best person for you is a professional like me who has those conversations with the children. So let me know in the comment section the conversations around sex that you'd wish somebody to take off your plate, those ones that you think you cannot start handling. So tip 2 is start talking early and keep the conversation going. When you start talking about sex early, it doesn't look awkward because the conversation doesn't start from sex. It's about the values that surround sex. So it's about respect, dignity, and it makes the conversations easier. So children, from the moment they're born, they're surrounded with sexual messages. Whether you speak or not, they're surrounded. So the choice of having those conversations consciously about love, body positivity, self-respect, boundary, and relationships are important for the young people. And it will be much easier when you start building and you build. So it's like building step by step. You're not doing it one-off. Before they enter puberty and they start having sexual feelings. Imagine if this first conversation was for your teen. Probably you also experience the same as a parent. Don't get pregnant as your first conversation. You'd feel that it's more of a rule, a command, and it's not geared to making you make healthier decisions. Or you'll assume that your parents assume you've already started having sex. So the same application is for your teen. When you start the conversations without going direct into the sexual conversations, then it makes it easier. And it's not specific to a specific stage, like periods or circumcisions. And so they don't come from fear, or they don't see it as misinterpretation. They don't see you as controlling. And if they see you as controlling, then your best intention as a parent, you get resistance. And so if you have a teen, probably you may have started the conversation. Sometimes you may have not started the conversation, but it's just whatever stage you are in, just emphasize that the reason why you're having those conversations is because you're coming from a place of change, place of love, and you want to journey with them as they grow up, whether you started it or not. And it's just making sure that they see that you're coming from a place of change and not from a place of control, and start embracing those conversations around sexuality. If you're getting value in the conversation you're having today, click the link button and maybe tag somebody who needs to see this. The third tip is find a teachable moment. So what are the teachable moments? Teachable moments, you can describe them as the opportunities in everyday situations. Those small opportunities that we can use to help us ease in the conversation. So some of them are like what we see in the news and the current affairs. We see every year, we don't miss things like statistics on the teenage pregnancies or the STI infections among the adolescents or even young adults, and you can use that as a conversation starter. The social media occurrences, maybe you've seen a trending movie or video, it may be of even child molestation, it may be about abuse, bullying, and you can use that as a step, as a start off. It can be that advertisement for the pad, the condom. Always never fails us to have such advertisement, and you can also use that. Some of the opportunities you can use include movies and books, and just to help you break that ice, because the beauty about teachable moment is that the stories is not about your own child. Your story is about a different person. So it's easier for even that child who has difficulty in having the conversation, or even you as a parent who is having that difficulty of addressing your child directly. You have a third person who is like a third party, and you're discussing it. So it's more of like you're discussing a scenario, and your child can build the values you're trying to bring, or the lessons from those. So basically they help you not to wait for your child to ask a question, because the reality is not all children ask a question. Some just keep quiet and source for those information elsewhere. So you use those teachable moments, and you use open-ended questions. So maybe you've seen something, whether it's that advertisement of the pad or the pregnant woman walking, or it's maybe that teen pregnancy issue that you've seen, and you can just ask a simple question as, what do you think you will do in that situation? For example, if it was about teen pregnancy, and you hear the conversation that they tell you, and then you can come in as a parent and add on what you want to say. And so it's maximize on those, what we call the stories of other people, to help you have those conversations and help you have your teen have answers and values, and let them pick their own perspective, because then it doesn't become like a rule, but it becomes like what they've chosen for themselves as teens. And it's also those opportunities that helps you see everyday happenings, and you can maximize on those. For example, such topics as the LGBTQ issues, whether it's about crushes, dating, breakups, pregnancy, STIs, even just puberty and growing up. It gives you a vast openings for having such conversation, and it makes it easier for you to build on it. And the more you get comfortable with yourself, the easier it will be for you to be more comfortable with your child, and the easier for you to open the door for the conversation. So it's a bit like learning how to drive. You don't just start one day, get into the car and go into the road. No, you take step to build those skills, to learn the rules, to master the roundabouts, to know which turns are wrong, which turns are right, to even know which lanes you can stick to, which lanes you cannot stick to. And basically it helps you become a better driver even before you get that driving license. So it's the same thing with just starting and practicing as you move on. And sometimes it's okay for you to give yourself that grace, that I've not yet built enough confidence to have this conversation, or I'm in the process of building the confidence, and then I can seek support from somebody else. There's no problem with that. And the good thing about sex education is that the more you talk about it, the less weird it gets. It starts from feeling from that person who was hiding under the rock, and it starts becoming easier for you. Next week, we will look at when's the right time to talk to the kids about sex. Thank you for watching. If you're new or haven't clicked the subscribe button, click, like, and share. And until next time, bye.